Ladies and gentlemen, pod number 17. This is the Phillip Rivers pod. We are
That's true.
locked and loaded. Jordan Love pod. Here we go. 17. Lucky number 7. All right. So today we're going to talk about your airness, Mr. Michael Jordan himself, making some comments on NBA players being absolute babies. Then we're going to talk some predictions for some college games, some big ones, and then the big NFL games this week. And then we're going to just jib and jab. So we have a little special event coming up at the end of the podcast. If you guys want to stick and stay tuned, fast forward if you want to see the end of the pod. But Andy, there is a lot going on in the NFL this weekend. It's going to be a wild week. I'm going to start off right off the bat. Biggest game of the week. We have the Chiefs at the Bills. So this is a potential AFC Championship preview. Chiefs are locked and loaded. They have been heating up. Rashee Rice is back. I believe Pacheco will be out. So Hunt will be their main back this game. But it's going to be a true test for the Bills. So the Bills are going to be, it'll be a good litmus test to see where they're at right now.
Yeah, it's weird. Kansas City, they're rolling, but they're a 2-point favorite on the road. I'm a little surprised. I feel like the Bills have had their number in the regular season in recent years. What are we thinking? Who do we like in this one? As a Bills fan, are you worried about the Kansas City Chiefs coming in town?
As a Bills fan, I hate to always be negative on my own team, but I just struggle seeing them getting the win this week. I think we are cooling down and the Chiefs are heating up right now, and I feel like it's a bad time to be meeting the Chiefs right now. The only chance the Bills have, I think, of beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship or in the playoffs this year is if some key players go down for the Chiefs. Unfortunately, the Bills didn't reload. We don't have our healthy players back. Ed Oliver is now on injury reserve with a torn bicep. That is a huge piece that's going to be missing for the Bills. We're going to be stuck with a rookie D tackle. We're going to be stuck with some rookie DBs and some veteran DBs that are just too slow to be playing safety in Jordan Poyer. And our explosiveness on offense from a receiver standpoint just isn't there. So we'll see if the offensive trifecta of Shakir, Allen, and Cook can lead us to victory. But unfortunately, we usually get out-coached by Andy Reid in these games. The only thing I will say is the Bills do very well against the Chiefs in the regular season. So at home, it's going to be loud on third down. So we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be a great game. It's the game of the week for sure. But I have the Chiefs winning here and covering the spread.
Really? So I'm going to take the Bills in this one. I like them as a home underdog. I think that's a good spot for them.
Sure.
Look, the Chiefs, they're playing great lately. And the Buffalo defense has shown some weakness, especially in the secondary. So Holmes could have a field day. But I think the juices are going to be flowing in Buffalo. I mean, people are going to be hyped up in Orchard Park. This is not any other Sunday.
No.
People will be going crazy. And Josh Allen, he's just going to have one of those games. You know, the receiving core, it's a little shallow right now. He's going to put it on the line. He's going to rush for 3 touchdowns. It's going to be the game where Josh Allen reminds the world why he was the MVP last season, why he should be in the conversation again this season.
I feel like I'm going to get some hate for Bills fans after my take, but I'm just trying to keep it real with everyone. But
I didn't realize you hated the Bills.
no, in another world, I say, yeah, man, like the tailgate's going to be lit. The Bat Blues are going to be flying. The wings are going to be eaten. The tailgate pizzas are going to be eaten. And it's going to be Bills flying high. But I'm just not feeling it. Just not feeling it this week, man. I think the Chiefs get the win, unfortunately. Next game we have up, this is a Monday nighter, is the Cardinals at the Cowboys. The reason we're picking this game to talk about is because this is kind of do or die for the Cowboys. If they lose to the Cardinals this week, I think we need to write off the Cowboys as extreme pretenders. And basically their season is just dead in the water.
Yeah, no doubt. They don't want to fall to 3-5-1. Dak Prescott had been pretty good this season, but coming off an absolutely terrible game. They got wiped last weekend against Denver. Kyler Murray expected to be back. Do we care about that at all?
I mean, I think it does matter. Jacoby Brissett is just not a starting NFL quarterback. I think this game is going to be a surprise game. I think the Cardinals get the win here. I think they cover the spread easily. I have Cardinals in what I would consider an upset, despite what Vegas would say.
That's right. Yeah, Dallas, they're a 2.5-point favorite. I think I'm going to take them. I just like the Cowboys going to 4-4-1. they're just meant to hover around 500. The Cardinals, I mean, no one loses a close game like the Arizona Cardinals. They're 2-6 right now, and they keep losing one possession games. Both these teams are hard to figure out. Both are disappointing. And if the Cowboys weren't America's team, this would not be national TV, but it is. I like Dallas in this one, winning and staying alive.
We'll see what happens. Next game on the slate. This one will be interesting. I think it's the first true test for the Indianapolis Colts. It's the Colts at the Steelers. Colts are favored by 3. This is going to be played at Old Heinz Field, now Acrisure Stadium. But this is the juggernaut versus the old man. And we need to see, is Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones, are they for real or are they pretenders? I think right now they've showed that they're pretty much for real. And I have them steamrolling the Steelers. Absolute steamroll this week against the Steelers. Jonathan Taylor won't be stopped at all. The Steelers' defense is as porous as a lava rock.
Yeah, the Steelers' defense, they are pretty vulnerable. So this could be a good spot for Danny Dimes, Jonathan Taylor, just keep on rolling. And Indianapolis, they're a 3-point favorite in this one. But I like the Steelers to steal this one against Indy. Look, I love what the Colts are doing this season. I think they're a tremendous team, probably the best story in the NFL, but I don't expect them to roll the 16-1. There are going to be some bumps along the way. I think this is a spot. You know, Aaron Rodgers, he's frustrated with how it went down against Green Bay last Sunday night, and I think this is a spot. It's a veteran team versus an up-and-coming team. I like Pittsburgh in this one. One bet I really like is Steelers winning the coin toss -110. From that point forward, it's going to be all Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Steelers.
Who's your key to the game then for the Steelers?
My key to the game is going to be DK Metcalf. He's going to be catching 2 touchdown receptions from Aaron Rodgers. And also, I like Aaron Rodgers to rush for a touchdown, too. People say he's not moving anymore. He's out to prove the haters wrong. He said, it's not all about Jonathan Taylor. I can rush for a TD, too. Look for Aaron Rodgers, rushing touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers' rushing touchdown would be well, that might be like he might win the comeback player of the year if he has a rushing touchdown this game.
He very well could.
I mean, that would be wild to see that man running at all, let alone into the end zone. So that'll be a good game. That one is at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So that gives you a nice opportunity to watch Colts Steelers and then Chiefs Bills right after. And then you just hit up right into the Sunday night game. So nice lineup by the NFL this week. Next game we had on the slate was the Vikings at the Lions. This is crazy because it's an in-conference, in-division rivalry, and the spread is at -8.5. That is a very large spread for a rivalry game. And those are the kind of ones that you feel like you just don't know if it's going to be that big, man. I think the Vikings figure out someone to put behind the center. And Justin Jefferson, it doesn't matter if Tyler Thigpen is the quarterback, Jamarcus Russell is the quarterback. It doesn't matter if Colt McCoy is the quarterback or Colt Brennan, RIP, from Hawaii is the quarterback. Justin Jefferson is going to get his yards and he's going to get a touchdown one way or another. If they have to put him in at wild card, they'll put him in at wild card. I mean, listen, Justin Jefferson is a man of international mystery. This guy is dressing up as the team photographer and scaring his GM. And if he can do that, then this guy can play ball with anyone at the QB position. I have the Vikings covering this spread, but losing the game. But it's going to be a lot closer than they think it will be.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson is legit. I mean, he's established himself as maybe the best wide receiver in the game without ever really having an elite quarterback throwing the ball. I mean, just imagine if he got with one of these top guys. It would be incredible. There's a lot to know in this one. You're right. These divisional games, even when it feels lopsided, these teams are familiar with each other. It's not like two teams who never play each other, run into each other. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, he knows these Detroit Lions inside and out. But I think it's going to be a rough return for J.J. McCarthy. I mean, I think we're going to have some Michigan on Michigan crime because Aiden Hutchinson, he just got paid. He got a whole lot of money. 4 years, $180 million.
Huge.
He's going to be coming off the edge, and he's going to make sure that J.J. McCarthy has a tough time coming back from that ankle injury. He won't be comfortable rolling the pocket. It's crazy. I think the Lions offense will continue to roll, and we got a lawn chair lock. Okay, I like Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, to be the game's first touchdown scorer. You can get that at +325 on Hard Rock Bet. Jahmyr Gibbs first touchdown scorer.
That
lawn
is
chair
the
lock.
official first lock of the Lawn Chair Sports Podcast. The first lawn chair lock. Jameer Gibbs plus 325
To be the game's first touchdown scorer.
And we were talking about NVIDIA returns. I mean, that return is like buying NVIDIA 10 years ago.
It's weird. It's like they're trying to give us money.
That's crazy, man. Thank God for us, man. We're making people, well, we're getting people's down payments for their next house on the pod. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, in tough economic times, we're just doing what we can to kind of, give people a chance to get by.
I love it.
I like the Lions winning and covering.
All right, I do want to mention, so Lions fans, you have to be pretty pumped right now in figuring out you have paid now your offensive lineman, your quarterback, your receiver, your best defensive players, and they all have these massive contracts, and somehow you guys have figured out how to manage to still have one of the best teams in the NFL. I think this is a blueprint for NFL teams to figure out how to pay the proper players. I am absolutely applauding the front office from the Detroit Lions because we get to see this team stick together now, at least the main pieces, for a long time coming. And Dan, this is your time, buddy. There's no more excuses. You have the players. You have the quarterback. You got the O-line. You got the explosive playmakers. You got the defense. I mean, it's time to win some championships over in Detroit. So they won't be chewing on Zins or packing Zins in their lips during the games, but they're going to be watching some winning football.
Yes, sir. I mean, they've paid the right guys, locked them all up. People thought the window was closed after they lost the playoffs last season.
Nah.
No, the Lions, they're not going anywhere.
All right. You asked for it. We're bringing it to you. Let's talk some college football. Saturdays have been ignored by this podcast for too long. We are joining the Saturday football, college football bandwagon. We're going to start off with some marquee matchups going in this week. Let's start off with number one, what was supposed to be one of the best games of the year. This was circled on a lot of people's calendar. It is Penn State at Ohio State. Penn State is now unranked, coming off the firing of James Franklin, entering into one of the hottest, best-looking teams in college football in the last 10 years. That is the Ohio State Buckeyes, and the Ohio State is favored by 20.5 points in this one, so Vegas is expecting a beating. But it's always funny when a team is coming off getting their head coach fired. Sometimes the boys just come out of the tunnel with a little bit of extra energy. They're flying a little freer out there. They're not worried about James Franklin cussing them out on film. They're doing one, and they're going to win one for the Gipper. And that is the interim head coach for Penn State. I think Penn State is going to surprise some people by keeping the game close. But Ohio State will probably pull away in the halftime and cover that spread easily. They'll probably win by 40.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, before the season, this was supposed to be one of the marquee matchups. Penn State was supposed to have a great year, and that was all ruined by James Franklin being an absolute bum. I mean, he will go down as the most hated Penn State coach since Jerry Sandusky. And I think the Nittany Lions, they're in store for that fired coach bump. You know, sometimes there's just a toxic coach in the locker room. It's not working. He gets kicked to the curb, and it's a breath of fresh air. These players, they're going to come out firing. They got nothing to lose. They're 3-4. They're not going to win anything, but they can salvage their season with an upset win in Columbus. I believe they're going to do that. Trent and I, we've been to the Big Shoe. We've been to Columbus, Ohio. The place has no freaking energy. You would think the number one ranked defending national champion, people, the juices we flow on, people be excited. People are lifeless in Columbus, Ohio. They've gotten away with it so far. It's going to catch up to them this weekend. They're going up against an elite Penn State defense, 5th in the nation. I mean, Carnell Tate is going to be in shambles. He might go undrafted because of how bad things go this weekend. I've got the Nittany Lions pulling off the upset.
Shame on you, Andy, for talking about the good people of Columbus, Ohio like that. They are not lifeless. They just don't know how to have fun.
They need better help.
They need better help. And if you want to have more fun, don't call BetterHelp. Call Surfside.
That's right.
Because they don't need better help. They need more Surfsides in Columbus, man. Absolutely need more Surfside. Okay, next game. This is the world's largest cocktail party. We have number 5, Georgia Bulldogs, coming into Florida. Another game where preseason, this one was probably circled on. We have another fired head coach, right? A lot of dead money in the last 2 games that we've been talking about. But the new interim coach, Billy Gonzalez, is planning to unleash his high-tempo, no-huddle offense that might be a better fit with Florida. So, again, does Florida benefit from that little fire coach bump? I don't know. We will see what happens here, but I can tell you this. I would love... Beep, 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 boop, 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 boop. This is the lawn chair lock.
Ooh.
Okay, I have Florida first quarter plus 2.5 against Georgia. Listen, here's my thought. This is an absolute lawn chair lock because they're going to come out with a lot of energy. It might not sustain the whole game, but expect some trick plays early for Florida to try to get that momentum up. Right now, they have no momentum. I think this is a perfect opportunity. Georgia comes out a little slow, a little sluggish from the plane ride, and then Florida just takes advantage in the first quarter. That is why I'm not betting the whole game. I'm betting Florida plus 2.5 in the first quarter. Lock that up, and you're welcome. I'll take a little return if you want.
Wow.
So I got Florida winning the first quarter, but losing the game, and Georgia covers the spread.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Billy Napier out, Billy Gonzalez in, Billy Donovan used to be the basketball coach. I mean, Florida's known for great athletics, but imagine how good they could be if they kind of expanded their coaching search beyond people named Billy. I mean, wouldn't that be something? But like we said, Florida's in a similar spot to Penn State. I mean, it feels like a lost season, but these players, they might get that fired head coach bump. It might just be what they need. This line is a little puzzling. Georgia's right in the mix. They're the 5th-ranked team. Florida's having a terrible season. Why is it only 7.5? Does Vegas know something that we don't? I'm not going to pick Florida to win it, but I think this is going to be a tight game. We know Vegas is not like when athletes dish out insider information and then they go on and place bets. But Vegas loves setting the line with their own insider information that's not public. I think that's what's at play here. So I like Georgia winning a close one. I believe Georgia wins on a field goal.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you what, the Swamp would be going crazy if that happens. Have you ever been to the Swamp for a game?
I oughta.
Absolutely electric. We need to go up to Florida, take a lawn chair road trip up to Florida, man.
Gainesville.
You know what? We should probably hit up some of these college games that are close by and do like some live podcasts with some young college kids or something. That kind of sounded
Gainesville,
weird.
USF.
All right, guys. Next game on the slate, we have number 18 Oklahoma at number 14 Tennessee. This is essentially a playoff matchup. I mean, honestly, if either of these teams loses, their season is over. Their playoff hopes are dead. So this is a must-win for both teams. Both teams are coming in at 6-2. So Oklahoma, Tennessee played in Knoxville. If Theo Vaughn is on the sidelines again, being a suck for attention, Tennessee has no shot to win this game. If Theo Vaughn stays at home or goes to the Vanderbilt game now, because now apparently he's a fan of that quarterback for Vanderbilt.
That's true. He gets to ride on the team bus, I believe, as
Yeah,
well.
he gets to ride on the team bus, gets to date the mom. I am sick of his shtick. This needs to stop. I think Tennessee needs to kick him off the sideline. Both of these defenses suck. Both of these teams have a lot of flaws. Whoever plays a tighter game will win this game. I know that's kind of cliche, but it's especially important here because if one side is playing bad, these teams don't have another side that can pick them up. The whole team has to play well to win the game. I have Tennessee getting the big win here and keeping their playoff contention alive.
Yeah. I believe things are going to be rocking in Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend. It's the highly anticipated quarterback matchup. It's Joe Milton against Spencer Rattler. I mean, two just bazooka arms going at it. You know, I watched an hour-long segment on the SEC network just to kind of prepare to talk about this game. And they were saying, Tennessee, it's a great offense. Oklahoma, it's a great defense. So really, it's really to come down to which of those plays better. Because, if Tennessee's offense is better, they'll probably win. If Oklahoma's defense is better, they'll probably win. While it was happening, my neighbor kept hitting the wall with a hammer, so it was kind of hard to concentrate, and there was just a lot going on. I like Tennessee. I mean, they've got home field. They're slightly higher ranked, and that crowd is just going to be rocking. It's going to be a tough atmosphere for Oklahoma. Tennessee wins. They're eyeing another playoff appearance.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's favored 3.5. It's going to be played at 7:30 on ABC, so it's going to be primetime television. It is going to be an electric atmosphere. I can guarantee you that. Forget about the outcome of the game. Everyone at the game is going to have an absolute blast. Day drinking in Knoxville, going to the game. That tailgate's going to be elite, absolutely elite. All right, next game on the slate. This is a great matchup. It's the Cinderella story. It's the Vanderbilt Commodores versus the Texas Longhorn. Vanderbilt number 9, Texas number 20. Texas, they need this to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. Arch Manning's basically his entire legacy is on the line. The entire Manning name and hierarchy is on the line. We will see what happens, but I think Arch Manning, Steve Sarkisian, I think they figure it out. I think they start rolling. I think Arch Manning is too good of a quarterback to be playing as badly as he has. Give the guy a break. You know, he hasn't started in an actual football game for years before he got thrust into playing the best team in college football. So give the guy a break. I think Arch Manning is going to have a huge out. This is going to be his, what do they call it?
Coming out party?
Coming out party. Yes, man. This is going to be his coming out party. I cannot wait to see Arch and the boys take down the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yeah, you know, I really want to take the Longhorns in this one. They're favored. They're at home. But then word broke today that Arch Manning, coming off a concussion, he returned to practice. And that's why I'm hammering Vanderbilt to win this game. Arch Manning has been terrible this season. This kid is all hype, no substance. I don't think people realize he's not Peyton Manning's son. He's Cooper Manning's son. There are 3 brothers. There's one of them who wasn't a good quarterback. 2 of them are going to the Hall of Fame. This guy wasn't. It would be like, for all the talk of how, you know, Bronny James and this whole experiment in the NBA has been ridiculous, what if this whole thing was about LeBron's nephew? I mean, I don't care about athletes' sons. I definitely don't care about their nephews. Arch Manning, he's going to tank the Texas Longhorns season. They're only ranked number 20 because of the hype around Arch Manning. I like Vandy.
Okay. In a little bit of defense of the Manning family, since you want to absolutely destroy their name, not only are we talking about the brothers here who are going to the Hall of Fame, we're talking about the patriarch of the family. That's Archie Manning.
Can't forget Archie.
Okay, he is his grandpa, and you put some respect on his name. He is not just Cooper's son. He is Archie's grandson. So, listen, don't listen to him, Arch. You got this. Lock in, buddy. All you need to do is stop throwing it sidearm and start throwing it more accurately, and also making better decisions, and also going down before you get slammed and get another concussion, and also, you know, overall just being a better leader and making better checks at the line, and, you know, reading the proper person on zone reads. All of those are going to contribute to your success, but I think you got it this week, bud. I think you got it. All right. That is it for the big college football games this week. I'm happy we did some college football, Andy. I think it's important. Yeah. I think we need to expand our fan base from just the Northeast, the Northwest, and the Southwest. I think we need to hit the Southeast, which we did today. I think we talked about some good old Southern college football. I don't think we experienced true college football when we went to Columbus.
No, not at all. That's my issue with college football. See, that's why I'm more of an NFL guy, because some of the games on the slate just don't even need to be played. I mean, every game we just ran through, must-see TV, watch them all. But we went to see the Ohio State Buckeyes against the unranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. That game didn't need to happen. The Buckeyes were about a 30-point favorite going in. There are just these matchups every week that are a complete waste of time. I mean, in the off chance you get an upset, it's pretty cool. At least for the NFL. I mean, if the Jets and Chiefs faced off, yeah, the Chiefs would probably be a 17-point favorite, but at least they're all pros.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of be a game. It might even come down to the fourth quarter. I mean, some of these college games are just completely worthless, and it's kind of just sad for the kids on the underdog team. But we're locking in on the prime matchups. I mean, college football, it's an untapped market. People love it.
People love it. Well, when we were growing up, it was even worse. Because there was not as much parity. The NIL at least spreads out some of the money, and we're seeing some better teams maintain being good. But the talent concentration before, like at Alabama was 5 people deep of NFL players. Now that's kind of a thing of the past, because if you're good enough to start on a college team right now, you can transfer with no penalty. That's number one. And you're getting sponsorships from smaller teams. So at least the NIL is making it a little bit more competitive and a little bit more watchable on those quote-unquote bad games. But point nonetheless, the NFL has better parity for sure. However, there are more games in college, so there can be more than 4 or 5 good games a week. Unlike the NFL, usually there's only like 4 or 5 good games a week.
Very true.
So arguments for, arguments against. All right, let's run through some quick fire predictions. So we don't need to get too in depth with these, but do you have the rest of the NFL slate ready to be pulled up?
Let's pull them up.
Pull
Let's
'em
pull
up.
them up.
Pull up. I'm glad you mentioned that because our next sponsor is actually Depends Diapers. And when you need it most, they're there as long as you pull it up. So, a lot of people, we know adults who wear diapers. And,
right.
We've all had some nights where we wish we had some Depends on. So thank you for sponsoring the podcast. And we always make sure to wear our Depends diapers on Saturdays.
We do, because there's nothing wrong with wearing a diaper, and you never know when Mother Nature is going to come knocking. Happens to the best of us. Use Depends.
Well, also, who doesn't like peeing in the pool? And wearing a Depends diaper is like peeing in the pool, but anywhere you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever been waiting in a long line in a crowded bar to take a piss? You wondered, why did it even come here? What if you could just pee wherever you want? People actually wonder how
It's
we're
an
able.
untapped market.
Well, people wonder how are we able to kind of talk into the microphone for such a long time doing these podcasts without a bathroom break. I'm just saying.
I mean, we're not saying we don't.
Yeah, figure it out for yourself. All right. We're going to hit on the other NFL games in Week 9, starting with the Thursday night matchup. We got the Baltimore Ravens in Miami against the Dolphins. Ravens are 2-5, Dolphins 2-6. After a debacle of dishonesty last week, the Ravens, very shady about Lamar Jackson's status. He is expected to return.
I got
this
Dolphins.
Week. The Dolphins.
I think Tua and Mike McDaniel's figured it out. They got the formula back. The magic is back. I have Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the Ravens winning this one. They're going to get a bump with Lamar Jackson back. They were losing even when he was playing. The rest of the team's broken. The defense is terrible, but they're coming off a big win against the Bears. They have an opportunity to save their season if they can get to 3-5. I like Baltimore.
Okay.
All right, into the Sunday slate, we got the LA Chargers traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans.
LA Chargers get a huge win here, probably a 20-point victory. Hammer the win. Money line's probably going to be not even worth betting, but I have the Chargers. Obviously, Herbert and the boys come in hungry and happy after they leave.
Yeah, this will be a blowout. The Titans are terrible, and the Chargers, they do a good job of beating the bad teams. I expect them to win this one. All right, we got the Atlanta Falcons sitting at 3-4. They've been up and down. Traveling to Foxborough, taking on the New England Patriots. Pats are 6-2. I think this is an interesting matchup. I expect the Patriots to keep rolling. There's some interesting parts of it. The Falcons do have a good defense. Could they slow down Drake May a little bit? But we don't even know what's going on at quarterback. Michael Penix might come back. If not, I don't even know who they're throwing out there. I don't care to know. Actually, I do know. It's Kirk Cousins. He's old. He's washed. I like the Pats in this one.
I have Falcons actually getting the upset here. I think Bijan Robinson has the game of his life. I think Kirk Cousins plays more game management style football, no turnovers. If he doesn't turn the ball over, Falcons get the upset win in Foxborough.
Yeah, the Pats, they have not allowed a single running back to rush more than 50 yards this season. Bijan Robinson will be a true test of that this Sunday. All right, next up, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Joe Flacco is questionable. I don't know why he's questionable. I didn't see him get hurt last week, but I guess he did. He's questionable for this one.
Well, I mean, Joe Flacco is just questionable overall always. So not from an injury standpoint, from just like a personality standpoint. But I have the Bengals. I think the Bengals are playing good football with Joe Flacco, and I think they actually pull out the victory here. I think, the Caleb Williams era in Chicago, that window is shrinking.
I think the window is already closed. I like the Bengals bouncing back. They had a disappointing loss against the Jets. Even though they don't have a great defense, Caleb Williams has shown no ability to exploit that. He loves throwing incomplete passes. He can't recognize an open window. And he's a terrible teammate. I got Cincy winning this one. All right. Next up, we got the 49ers coming off a loss, traveling to New York to take on the G-Men. Giants lost Cam Scatterbo to a gruesome injury last week.
49ers get back on track here. I think the New York Giants are absolute pretenders. That bump and jump they got from putting in Jackson Dart at quarterback with his eye black and him fist bumping and chest bumping and doing all that with Brian Dable. It's too much theater in New York, and there's already enough theaters in New York. Mm-hmm. The 49ers get the win. San Francisco traveling across the entire country. They will be tired, but they're going to be living it up on that plane on the way back home.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, a lot of guys on TV will say, it's going to be tough because for the Niners, it's going to feel like 10 a.m. I mean, they're new to West Coast time. They're going to be in the East Coast. It's 1 o'clock. It won't matter. Mac Jones, he used to play on the East Coast before he was a 49er. They're going to be shredding the New York Giants. I mean, for the G-Men, it's going to be funny looking back when the season's done. All the time national media spent talking about these New York Giants. They have 2 wins. They might not get another. They're going to be picking in the top 5 of the draft. They're a terrible franchise. And I got the Niners getting the win, going to 6-3.
Nice.
All right, next up. We got the Denver Broncos at 6-2, traveling to Houston, taking on the Texans. Texans are 3-4, coming off a win.
Texans are absolute pretenders. The Broncos are for real, and they should be taken very seriously. Sorry, I just kind of spit up there.
Hey.
Broncos, Bo Nix, and the boys easily take care of C.J. Stroud, who is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, both teams are confusing. Just when you think the Texans are dead in the water, C.J. Stroud is a good game. Just when you think the Broncos, you can trust them. I mean, they just they come out flat. I like the Texans in a close one. It's going to be a shootout. I like them win by a field goal. This should be a crazy one. C.J. Stroud, though, coming off his best game of the year. All right, next up. We got the Carolina Panthers. They're at 500, a 4-4 team, traveling to Green Bay, taking on the Packers. The Packers, they sit atop the NFC right now at 5-1-1.
And that won't change. The Packers have hit their stride. Jordan Love is back in his groove. After beating Aaron Rodgers, this team feels invincible. And honestly, Bryce Young and the boys, they're just not good enough to compete against these high-level teams. They might get some wins against the bad teams, but this game is not even going to be close. Green Bay, Jordan Love, absolute domination.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got the Packers winning as well. I think they win it handily. I mean, the Panthers are coming off a smackdown by the Buffalo Bills. And the Packers, I kind of forgot about them. They lost the Browns and then tied the Cowboys, then had a bye. I forgot they existed. I was shocked when I saw the graphic. They were atop the NFC, but they've been that good. I mean, Jordan Love coming into his own. I believe they win handily. All right, next up, into the 4 o'clock slate, we got Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Las Vegas, taking on the Raiders.
All right, Jacksonville, who do you want to be? Where do we want to go from here? Liam Cohen, what's our identity? Travis Hunter, are you playing offense or defense? You guys need to figure that out. And until you figure that out, you're going to continue to struggle. The only saving grace you guys have this week is that you're playing probably the coldest quarterback in the NFL, and that's Geno Smith. Pete Carroll is too old. He's the Joe Biden of NFL coaches. He just shouldn't be out there. His kids should actually pull him, and they should just give the money back to the Las Vegas owners. I have Las Vegas getting absolutely annihilated here.
It can be the Raiders in this one. Just when you think the Jags are playing some good football, they're going to bounce back season. They're still the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, this is a crazy game. Jaguars, Raiders. Unless you live in the immediate area surrounding Jacksonville or Las Vegas, I wouldn't spend my Sunday watching this game. But if you do, you're going to see Geno Smith have a big game, and you're going to see Pete Carroll rally those boys, their third win of the season.
Nice. All right, we'll see.
All right, next up, we got the Saints at 1-7, going to SoFi Stadium, taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
I think both teams from Los Angeles are real this year, man. I think they're both tough teams to play. Matthew Stafford and his receiving core that he has is one of the most dangerous offenses. It is the greatest show on turf, but this is the NFL debut of Tyler Shug. Apparently, this guy's already 31 years old, but he's a rookie. And so it's interesting to see the Saints just wasting their time with another quarterback that they know won't end up being good. But yeah, this one's not even going to be close, man. I mean, I feel like we just talked about the NFL having parity, and these games all feel like they're going to be blowouts. The crazy part is they aren't going to all be blowouts. So when people look back at our calls, they're going to be like, these guys are idiots.
But we're not.
No.
We're not idiots because the Rams, I mean, they're going to absolutely manhandle the Saints. The Saints are terrible. Yeah, Spencer Wright lost his starting job. Tyler Show, who is he? Where did he come from? I don't know. Do I need to? I don't think I do. Because I also have a full-time job, okay? So maybe if this were my only gig, I could figure out where this guy went to college, where they got him from, what the story is. It won't matter. You'll be able to tell the story of the NFL without Tyler Show. Maybe that's not even how you say his name. I don't know. It won't matter. I mean, the Saints are going to fall to 1-8. And, yeah, they're on track for that number 1 pick. All right. Last one on the slate here that we haven't hit on. It's Sunday Night Football on NBC. It's the Seattle Seahawks at 5-2. It's Washington versus Washington, if you will. State versus district. They're going to D.C. to take on the Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, I think the concept of districts overall is confusing to most people, that they actually are their own sovereign kind of area. But Sam Darnold No one gives this guy enough credit. He's fought back from a lot of adversity in his career. He's been overlooked multiple times by multiple teams. He goes into Washington and takes care of business. Seattle keeps on rolling. Seattle is just quietly gaining and picking away on those wins. I would hate to play Seattle in the playoffs.
Yeah, how about these Seahawks? I mean, Sam Darnold, people thought maybe it was a one-year wonder with Minnesota last season. They're considered kind of like quarterback's heaven, just an easy place to play. He lands in Seattle. They're known as a defensive team. They trade away his top target, DK Metcalf, and he doesn't miss a beat. I like the Commanders locking him this season, but what's going on with Jaden Daniels? I mean, I feel like he's banged up every other week. You know, is this style catching up with him? I think he's a hell of a player, got a bright future, but, you know, saw him as a dark horse MVP I come to the season. If you're not healthy, then it's not going to mean much. I think the Commanders' season is sinking fast. I believe the Seahawks went on the road.
Well, history always repeats itself. Have we seen a really, really good running quarterback for the Washington Commanders before? No. But he played for the Washington Redskins, and that was RG3. I mean, the Jaden Daniels RG3 comparison is going to start ticking in if Jaden Daniels doesn't start playing better. So hopefully for Jaden Daniels, that doesn't happen. But I will say, RG3, great commentator. Love his tweets. I like his perspective. I kind of like how when people zig, he zags. Yeah. And we'd love to have him on the podcast. He's definitely a friend of the pod for us. So I'm not saying RG3's career was his fault either. He had some horrible coaching. He did not get a lot of opportunities. And unfortunately, if he doesn't have that knee injury, he probably goes on and is still playing football right now.
Yeah. I thought he was a stud early on. Big fan of RG3 rookie year.
Good guy. That was awesome watching him at Baylor, too. He was a great player.
Oh, my God. What a guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for our NFL Week 9 preview. I mean, I really can't wait. I think it's going to be another classic week of games.
It's going to be a good week of football.
Yeah. Really good week of football. I mean, all right. I think it's time, though. I think we got to talk some World Series.
Let's do it.
We got to talk some World Series. So, you know, at this very moment, this World Series is tied up 2-2. And you're probably saying, no, actually, some team leads 3-2. Well, you know what? We're recording this on Wednesday night, so you're just going to have to deal with it, okay?
Yeah, sorry we don't have an editing team that we pay $100,000 to get this done tonight.
Oh, my God, I wish I could see the future. But at one point, it was tied 2-2. And we had 2 classic games so far in Los Angeles. I mean, Game 3, this one is going to go down in the history books. Have you ever seen an 18-inning World Series game before?
Well, I don't think anyone has. I mean, it was like, I think, one inning away from being the longest ever World Series game.
Interestingly enough, there was one other 18-inning World Series game. It was 2018, Red Sox, Dodgers. Also happened in Game 3. Dodgers also won a walk-off home run. That's a fun fact. It was incredible. 18 innings. I went to sleep in the 8th inning because the game was tied, and I had to wake up in the morning. And when I saw the Dodgers won 18, I said, what? You know, Jeff Passan, he's kind of ESPN's main baseball reporter. Big fan of his work. I mean, the guy's enthusiastic. All he wants is to get people excited about baseball. But he had some tone-deaf tweets because he was tweeting out during the game, if you're not watching this game right now, why not? Because I got to wake up in the morning, Jeff. My whole gig isn't covering the Dodgers in this World Series game. If I stayed up till 3 a.m., I would probably lose my day job because I would be a very unproductive worker the next day. So that's why I'm not watching, not because I don't love the game.
So just an aside from that, I don't think it's fair to ask a fan to watch that many innings. And here's why. Because if you're a true fan like me or Andy, you might go to Ferg's Sports Bar and Grill. It was just voted the #1 sports bar in America. This is one of our favorite places to go watch some football, but definitely some playoff baseball.
Ooh, yeah.
We actually recently went to a game this season. I forget who was playing. Who was it?
It was Red Sox Yankees, Yankee Stadium.
Red Sox Yankees, was it?
It was.
Okay.
Back in
August.
August.
That's right. Yeah. So it was Red Sox Yankees, and you know we had already drank maybe 5 drinks going into it. So I'm thinking, it's 8th inning. We'll have a couple more. Nightcap. Call the night after. No. This thing could not end. And by the end of it, I am drinking shots of Rumplemans with people in furry coats in the summertime in Florida. And my wife was pissed. Absolutely pissed. The Surfside buckets were going down so easy. I must have drank in the course of from inning 8 to, I think it probably went to 13 innings.
Sounds about right.
14.
Yeah.
I must have drank 15 more drinks in that time span. So not fair to me as a person who can't leave a game early. I had to see the end of it, but I couldn't not drink with every single person at the bar because Ferg Sports Bar and Grill is such a fun place. You're always meeting someone fun. So I think we should go watch the game at Ferg's, man. I think that's the place to go. But I think this series is baseball's absolute renaissance period. Shohei Ohtani, we are witnessing one of the greatest athletes of all time. If you are not savoring every single moment of this guy live, then you are missing out. He is a humble, hungry, and kind person who just, happens to be the best pitcher in the MLB and the best hitter in the MLB. I mean, it is like if Tom Brady also ran a 4.4, also caught his own touchdown passes, and was the highest sack leader in the NFL. I mean, what Shohei Ohtani is doing is unbelievable. I expect the Dodgers to pull it out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Shohei Ohtani, I mean, what can you say about this guy? And before we go any further, this is a new sub-segment called Sucking Off Shohei Ohtani. It's presented by Smuckers, okay? Because this World Series and this whole baseball season, Shohei Ohtani, he did things that made people's faces light up. And with Smuckers, from mouthwatering fruit spreads and natural peanut butters to dreamy dessert toppings, Smuckers products bring the flavors that make our faces light up, okay? So back to the sub-segment. This guy's absolutely incredible. I mean, his Game 3 performance, he hits 2 home runs, including a game-tying home run in the 7th inning, on base 9 times. At a certain point, the Jays said, hey, let's just not pitch to him. I mean, getting on base 9 times in a World Series game is absolutely absurd. This guy's worth every penny. And then he turns around and pitches the next night. So what a game from Ohtani. But a few other things to note. You know, I was critical of the Dodgers bullpen. I said that's going to be their weakness. That's where the Jays pounce. That's why I think Toronto could very well win this series. The Dodgers bullpen, what a performance. They had no-name guys going out there throwing 9 scoreless, getting them to 18. I mean, that narrative's thrown out the window. That's why they're able to win Game 3. And how about Freddie Freeman? Walk-off home run in the 18th. He was the same guy who hit the walk-off grand slam Game 1 of the World Series last year. I mean, he's becoming a postseason hero.
Mr. October.
It's absolutely crazy. He's the only player now with multiple World Series walk-off home runs.
Wow.
I mean, who else would you want up in the clutch?
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman. So Game 3, an all-timer. No matter what way the series goes, I mean, I don't think people will ever forget Game 3, even though most people were probably asleep for it.
Yeah.
And then into Game 4, I mean, it was kind of a do-or-die game. You're the Jays. You don't want to fall down 3-1. And it was tight early on. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he had a 2-run shot early in the game, put the Jays up 2-1. It was a pretty close one until the Jays scored 4 in the 7th inning. Kind of broke it open. Shohei Ohtani didn't actually pitch great, but we don't like to hit on those types of stories in this program. And this series is tied up. It's tied up, so for the first time in 3 years, the World Series would go at least 6 games. I think when a series goes 6, to me, that's a real series. You know, even if one team wins the next 2, I can live with it. I think a 6 or 7 game series, that's perfect. When a team wins in 5, I'm like, this could have been an email. You know, it just feels like it's not even worth my time. So I'm excited. I think this one has 7 games written all over it.
I'm here for it.
And someone's up 3-2 at this point. So big game 6, Friday night. Will it go 7?
Big game 6. All right, let's just finish on this. We got to talk Michael Jordan. Obviously, he's getting paid right now to do an interview. I mean, he's got this exclusive interview deal. Tarico is interviewing him. It's really interesting to hear what Mr. the Airness himself has to say. He touched on load management. We've talked about it on the pod before. Michael Jordan says it is these guys' jobs to play basketball for 2.5 to 3 hours a day. And I couldn't agree with him more. This generation of basketball players is flawed mentally and they're flawed physically. The NBA needs to do some real research on figuring out how they can avoid all of these injury problems and having their star players on the court to watch games. If you're an NBA fan and you're buying these tickets that are completely overpriced, you need to have these stars in the games. These people are hard-working fans. and they deserve to be showed the true NBA product. And with all this betting stuff going on right now for the NBA, they need some highlights right here. I mean, because they are just having negative story after negative story after negative story, and that is not usually what happens at the beginning of an NBA season. So, NBA, Adam Silver, figure it out, but we need to have the stars playing, and I am sick of all this load management shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. If these guys on the max contracts are going to be paid close to $60 million a season, they might as well suit up for all 82. And I think this load management, this is just another way in which analytics have ruined sports. Because, there's some nerd in a back room who's looked at it and says, well, actually, if we sit this guy down for 20 games a season, really his numbers complete. Something's got to budge. Either shorten the season, which the league will never do because they would lose money. It's honestly a killer. I somewhat get it from the team's perspective. Everything is judged on postseason success. We keep making the regular season more and more meaningless. Now with the play-in tournament, there are basically 20 playoff spots up for grabs. I mean, if you don't at least get in the play-in, you were 10 of the bottom 30 teams. You were so garbage you never had a shot.
Right.
So teams have every incentive to just mess around, not take the regular season seriously, but it becomes unwatchable for fans. I mean, it costs so much money to get in the building. You go, the star player's not even playing. I mean, I would like to see, if you're not going to shorten the season, how about cut the number of playoff teams? How about adopt the NFL format where it's, all right, one team gets a bye, then you have, 2 through 7 matched up. 10 per conference is way too much. I mean, I don't know. It's NBA fans give so much and just get so little in return.
Also, F the in-season tournament. That's the stupidest thing ever. They need to get rid of that immediately.
It's dumb. Also, the teams who go to the championship play one extra game. And it's not a huge deal, but for all this talk about load management because guys might get hurt, how pissed would you be if your star player got hurt in that 83rd game you're playing for no reason?
So stupid, man. I'm Adam Silver, bad idea, change it. And I want to say, too, if you've stuck with us through the end of this podcast, we just want to thank you guys again. Andy, is there anything else you want to touch on before we leave our lovely fans?
We can do a couple of rapid-fire points. I mean, all right, next up in the betting story in the NBA, Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups will not be paid now. They were being paid previously. Now their money will be held in escrow while the NBA does their investigation. Feels like a very reactionary move to me. I think it's the right move. People saw it and said, wait, Terry Rozier is getting $26 million to do nothing while he basically cheated at his job. And it highlights something because these guys always seem to be placed in this commissioner's exempt list. These guys are caught up in a gambling controversy. We've seen these guys who are in trouble for domestic violence. Are they suspended without pay? No, they're just put on the commissioner's exempt list. I mean, Deshaun Watson was eventually suspended for 11 games when he had his whole controversy doing wild things to those poor massage therapists. But he was just collecting his paycheck for about a season and a half. Stop paying these guys who are sitting out for doing horrible things.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I think it's the right move putting it in escrow. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. All right, next up, Coach Ed Ogeron has expressed interest in returning to LSU. The LSU job is open. Would you like to see this happen?
Coach, he's coming back, baby. He said, just give me enough time to get my truck and I'll be over very soon. Coach O, back to LSU. That's another lawn chair lock. We have to see it. It's not a betting favor. We're not telling you to bet on that, but we would love to see Coach O back at LSU, and hopefully he can recruit Joe Burrow to go play again, and then Burrow can spell his name wrong on the back of his jersey on senior night.
We love that. All right. Some hot starts around the NBA. Oklahoma City, San Antonio, the 76ers are unbeaten. Golden State Warriors are 4-1. OKC is the defending champion, but any of these other teams, do you take them seriously to make a run?
I think the Lakers, fully healthy, continue to be NBA's most talented and best team.
See, here's the problem with the Lakers. You would think a team with LeBron and Luka would be world beaters. And put those two together, no question. But one thing we do have to hit on, Austin Reeves is going off. I mean, this guy is absolutely incredible. He's putting up 51-point games, 41-point games. I mean, maybe the Lakers really had something in him. But beyond Austin Reeves, the Lakers roster construction it's like someone who doesn't really follow NBA that much doing their fantasy draft. And they just pick up names that they're vaguely familiar with. Like every offseason, I never see the Lakers take a chance on a young player and try to develop him. It's just someone who was pretty good 5 years ago. It's kind of been the blueprint for any LeBron team roster construction. But this offseason, they had no center. They just said, DeAndre Ayton, we'll sign him. Also, Marcus Smart, he used to be good, right? No, they're bringing in these guys who are absolutely cooked. I mean, they need other than fleecing the Mavs to land Luka Doncic, what has Rob Pelinka done? Because I feel like he's just brought in a bunch of washed-up veterans and really wasted a lot of LeBron's time in L.A.
Well, he won an NBA championship with LeBron and AD.
Hey, I mean, what have you done for me lately? It was 5 years ago.
Well, what have the Celtics done for you lately?
This summer, terrible, but they've had a great run. They've been most wins in the NBA since the start of the 2007-2008 season. So they won a championship with 2 different cores in that time.
I mean, your players don't even have hair.
They don't have hair, but honestly, good move by Jaylen Brown. Yeah, his hairline, it was rubbing off on multiple players' jerseys. It happened twice in 3 games, and he could have been stubborn about it. He could have, told the world, stop making fun of him. He just said, it's time to come home. He followed suit. His teammate Derek White, he said, you know what? Having hair is not for me. And I completely respect it. I think it was the right move. And who knows? Maybe that'll ignite the Celtics. They're now 1-3, and yeah, I think they might make a playoff push.
All right, we're getting a special call here from my brother over in Sacramento.
Ooh.
Zach, we're doing some NBA segment right now. I got you on speaker on the mic. What are your thoughts on the Kings roster this year?
That's unfortunate.
Are you guys just gathering up any NBA player who was good 10 years ago?
Well, we tried to get the old Bulls team back together, and then Westbrook out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty sight on the floor, I'll tell you that.
Oh, Westbrook had a good game there tonight.
Okay. Well, they're not lighting the beam. I'm not happy.
Let me ask you this. Are the kids seeing the beam enough for you?
No, they're not.
What is one move that they can do to save their season?
Well, they save their season. This season's gone. They need a tank commander, and they need to rig the lottery.
And how do we get to Adam Silver and do this?
Trade Sabonis.
I don't know. I guess I'd say if you had dirt on the NBA, but everyone's got that, it seems.
Is it possible that Sacramento just proposes to the city of turning their stadium into a casino as well, and just telling the NBA that they'll give them half the revenue if they let them draft Carlos Boozer's son?
Live bets from the arena.
Live bets from the arena. That's what Dallas did. Anyway, yeah, Kings not looking good this year, but thank you for the plug on the pod. It is good to have you on, Zach.
Yeah, light the beam.
Light the beam. All right, talk to you soon.
Number 1 fan right there.
Broken lawn chair host right there. Andy, anything else you want to talk about? I'm out of things.
No, I'm out of it. I mean, I think we really put it on the line to pump out this episode.
We are grinding, guys. Please tell your friends. If you comment on this video and have actually watched it this long, and you just comment, Lawn Chair Sports is the best sports pod, we will personally send you a 47 Lawn Chair Sports hat in the mail. Just shoot us your address in the DMs. We will contact you. We'll figure that out. Hopefully you guys saw this, because if you did, I promise a free hat is coming your way. As long as you spread the word.
You do have to spread the word. Yeah, tell your friends and family. And, yeah, tell them at Thanksgiving. I know it's more than a month out, but,
If we were a virus, we want to be the coronavirus, all right? We want to be very viral.
That's right. Do not mask up this time around.
Fauci, we're coming for you, buddy. All right, thanks, guys.